Let's talk about Guilty Gear Strive's DLC, cause I've got a couple issues with the content they've put out so far. It all begins with Gold Lewis Dickinson. Gold Lewis was an amazing first drop. He is very clearly a really well-designed character in both gameplay and aesthetics. The only real issue I have with Gold Lewis is how intimidating he is for newer players to try. When I was getting into fighting games, a mere quarter circle felt impossible, so having to do half circles would be an absolute red card for me if I was new. The importance of appealing to new players is because it gives your game's population more room for natural growth. It also gives more incentive for casual players of your game to buy the Season Pass. Season Pass purchases are an important signal to the devs on the state of a game, and obviously, it's also a direct line for money to the studio. If no one is buying Season Passes, the devs have no real reason to continue working on a game besides maintaining brand image. On the other hand, I completely understand why people would rather see complex characters with great potential than simple but very strong characters. It definitely gives off the pay-to-win vibe. Regardless of which one you prefer, the worst combination is a complex character that offers little return for your effort, which Gold Lewis kind of is, but also really isn't. Gold Lewis thrives at lower to mid-level games where players don't really know how to exploit his weaknesses. Ultimately, these high-level weaknesses come down to the game Gold Lewis is in though. In a game revolving around strong neutral and offense, Gold Lewis's all-in style of play just isn't that strong in competition. That being said, 99% of players won't compete, so play Gold Lewis. He's the most fun character I've ever played in a fighting game. That takes us to the release of Jacko, a really cool resource-based zoner that also has really high pressure and mix-up potential. This character did very well to increase the visibility of Guilty Gear Strive, even starting a Jacko pose mini trend. I remember thinking that Jacko was going to start a big uprise of Guilty Gear Strive, and then the release came. Jacko was kind of awkward to handle, and although everyone was ready to be a day one Jacko main, it turned out everyone was really a Jacko main for one day. Happy Chaos was released not so long ago and is a really cool resource-based zoner that also has a really high pressure and mix-up potential. Hopefully you see where I'm getting at here. That's the exact same description that I used to describe Jacko, and although both characters don't play exactly the same, there's a lot of overlap, which makes it a terrible decision for both characters to be in the same season pass, let alone back-to-back releases. I really don't know what Arc System Works is thinking, and I was pretty surprised that not many people were complaining about this. Maybe I'm crazy, but this just seems like the worst thing you could possibly do. Release Jacko, which will attract the people that want to put a little effort into a character, that want to play this kind of niche hybrid zoner way, and then release Happy Chaos, who's fairly similar and is going to attract the same people. The people that want to play Happy Chaos were already playing Jacko, and this is already a really niche crowd. So all we're doing now is splitting the Jacko players in half, while also picking up a couple people that want to play Happy Chaos for the aesthetics. All I'm saying is that there's a reason that Sonic Fox went from Jacko to Happy Chaos. Similar character, but probably stronger long-term in both zoning and pressure ability, with a much cooler aesthetic. Before we move on to Baiken, there's one trait that the first 3 Season Pass characters have in common. They were all in the story mode, and so they had a lot of the work on the models already done. This leads me to believe that they put up more weight on saving time and money than making a well-rounded Season Pass. Of course, a global pandemic was and still is going on, so could blame them, but it still leaves a sour taste in my mouth that the first 3 DLC characters felt like an obligation because they already went through the effort of making the models for the story mode. So Baiken is announced to be coming out later this month, and for the 4th character in a row, it's another difficult to play character that will attract the niche crowd. I truly don't know much about Baiken, but I know the memes surrounding her that everyone loves her, but nobody actually plays her. That sounds like another kind of Jacko that will build up some kind of plastic hype that doesn't last. I want to be clear, I don't mind there being more difficult characters to play. I just think that season passes should appeal to more than one crowd. Let's include people getting into fighting games that want new characters to play. Personally, I got into fighting games when I saw UI Goku was released as a DLC character for Dragon Ball FighterZ. I saw the trailer. I didn't even have the game. FighterZ wasn't even a game that I've seen before, but I love Dragon Ball and I always wanted to play as UI Goku. And what can I say? I'm a simple man. There was a massive auto combo, big buttons, easy to use counter, lots of reversals. This made the character really accessible and easy to use. It's been over a year since then, and I've been playing fighting games religiously ever since then, and I just want other people to have this experience too. And if that experience requires a, easy to play character to be released, so be it. I would love to see it. Add another soul bad guy to the game. All this being said, of course I'm going to try out Baiken just like I tried out every other DLC character, but I'm privileged enough to have as much free time that I can spend a lot of time labbing and playing a character And so the DLC choice doesn't really affect me that much. And who knows, I might fall in love with her the same way that I fell in love with Gold Lewis. All I'm trying to say here is that it's likely a poor business decision to make these difficult characters back to back to back to back to back with no real incentive for new players to try getting into the game. And when next year comes around and people realize they bought your season pass with 5 characters that they've never played before, they're gonna think twice about giving you more money. And that's all I've got. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the links in the description. I stream on Twitch. I've got a Twitter. Join the community Discord. I got a Patreon. And let's end this with some discussion. Should the devs take newer players into consideration? If you are a newer player, are you intimidated by the current DLC characters that are out? Did you buy Strive Season Pass? If so, why or why not? Are you looking forward to Bikin? Is it because you have a previous attachment to her, or is it because it's just something else to do? Let me know in the comments, and I look forward to reading your responses. Anyways, that's all I've got. Until next time, bye-bye.